Hi, gang. Video exclusive special for March 2026, number 4. I want to talk about the Schumer shutdown. Now, you know, or you may not know, I've said it several times, though, I don't like to script shows, but I do take notes. And this time I took some extensive notes. Hopefully, I can get through it succinctly and not forget anything this way. Schumer shutdown. Item one, TSA, HSA, Homeland Security, the shutdown. I remain consistent. I am not, I'm going to praise TSA a little to a degree today and say there's no excuse to continue the shutdown and TSA to not be paid. But I'm consistent. I've criticized them. Yes, thousands standing around. And on Suno, in fact, I'll try to remember to put, let me make a note here. Suno, circle that. I didn't write that down. I'll put my, what did I call it? Shutdown Blues TSA anthem, something like that. Anyway, I'll tack it on to the end. But I remain consistent. I criticize them. There are often far too many of them. And indeed, like a road construction site, a note of mine, you go by, you see two people working, you see three others stand around BSing, watching the two people doing the work. Oftentimes, that's the way it is. But what is different? Next note. Indeed, what is different this time? Why am I cutting them a break? Why am I calling out the left and Schumer and the Democrats for the shutdown and TSA agents not getting paid and the problems at the airport? What's different this time is a couple things. First and foremost, agents are quitting. They're not getting paid, so they're quitting and going to go find another job. So there are less of them. So, yes, this time, rather than thousands of them standing around doing nothing, there aren't enough of them at some airports to get the job done, and therefore people saying you need to get there 6 hours before your flight, which is outrageous, ridiculous, absurd. Fund HSA and TSA, FEMA, other parts. The left claimed, oh, it's about ICE. We don't want to. We want to defund ICE. They don't want to fund ICE. Pardon the phone's ringing. But this isn't about ICE. ICE was funded till 2028 via the one big beautiful bill last year. So them saying, oh, we will not fund ICE without reforms. You already funded it last year till 2028. Liars. You lie. You lie. You lie. You lie. You always lie. And the enemy to you repeats your lies, and the Democrats' base suck up the lies. So, and some of them aren't showing up to work if they haven't quit certain days because they can't afford the gas to keep their car on the road without the paycheck or feed the family. So that's what else is different? The threat level is through the roof due to the conflict in Iran and potential sleeper cells and or one-off lone wolf radical idiots deciding to engage in terror assaults. So the threat level is way up, but HSA isn't funded. ICE sent to airports. Wrong. Wrong. No. Stop. That's a win for the Democrats. The commie fascist socialists constantly saying they don't want ICE doing their jobs. Well, guess what, President Trump? You gave them what they wanted. You're pulling ICE away from their jobs and putting them in airports. Dumb move. National Guard should be called out for that. The National Guard to keep the peace and order at airports and have the TSA agents focusing on strictly screening to get people through. To try to reduce some of these weights. Congressional privilege. Finally, Delta Airline announced they are ending the congressional privilege. Congress critters got to go to the airport and get an escort past the line. No! Get your butt in the line and wait with us, your constituents, your boss. The ones telling you to fund the TSA, the HSA, FEMA, other things. ICE is not the issue. Already funded to 2028. Already said that. Put them in. If you want to bypass lines, spend your $1 million portfolios that you're getting rich off illegally trading stocks via insider information to get a private jet. Go to the private jet terminal and counter and get right on your plane. Spend the money to do that. Your money, not our money, not taxpayer dollars, not campaign money, your money, your own money. Otherwise, get your ass to the back of the line and wait 6 hours like others are doing at some airports for your flight. Tired of your privilege, tired of your excuses, just tired. And that goes for RINOs as well as leftists also. More on that in a minute. They can't cut corners. Oh, well, why can't they just cut corners and get some people? Unfortunately, due to the funding issue, the pre-check program is not funded and shut down, so those pre-screened can't get the shortcut they're paying for and been pre-screened, had background checks on, which could help shorten the line. So they're in the line too, lengthening the line. They can't cut the corners because the threat level is up. No, we can't just keep, wave people through and a would-be terrorist then just gets waved on through with box cutters or worse, shoe bombs. This isn't tough. It is not tough at all. It's not about ICE, funded to 2028. So you lying leftists on media, stop lying, fund it. Now, also, I had additional notes. I wrote down Senate deal. I am recording this. It's not going to air today, Wednesday, March 25th, and news came down. There was a deal in the works that, of course, the Democrats nixed. So the funding deal is dead as of my recording this at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But you RINOs are not blameless here. House and Senate, you're not blameless. Reconciliation. You could, this is a pure funding issue. You could pass it with 50 Senate GOP votes and J.D. Vance in attendance to break the tie and fund all of this. So you're not blameless. Why aren't they doing it? Well, let me say, what else could they do in a reconciliation bill? And rescissions. That's the big reason why they don't want to do any of those. They could fully fund ICE beyond 2028 to 2035 if they wanted in a reconciliation bill, because it would only require a 51 votes in the Senate to pass. They could do that. They could then also pass, as part of the reconciliation, Trump's military supplemental request due to the Iran conflict in reconciliation. 51 votes, no filibuster. Problem solved. They could also fund other things, but here's what they don't want to do and why the RINOs will not do it. Because DOGE cuts. There need to be more DOGE cuts. The left never cares about the deficits and the debt. They are always spend. But now, arguments for the midterms, oh, they are so concerned about the deficit and the debt. No, you're not. I'm consistent. All the way back to Reagan, I've been talking about deficits and debt. I'm consistent. So the RINOs don't want to do a reconciliation bill that would solve the current funding crisis because they know we would demand more DOGE cuts, more cuts of waste, fraud, and abuse to help pay for the reconciliation package. Because otherwise, of course, the left, look, they're adding more to the deficit and the debt that the left cares nothing about ever. The issue is never the issue with the left, just all about power and control and what they can lie, cheat, and steal in the midterms their way back into House control and attempt at Senate control again, which nothing will get done Trump's next 2 years if the GOP loses control of the House or the Senate in the midterms. They're going to lie. They're going to cheat. They're going to steal the left to try to get that back power so that they can just more impeachment this, impeachment that, blah, 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 blah. Waste time, stall, delay to get till Trump's out of office. Blah, 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 blah. They could even put in more tax cuts. Now, I don't expect that, but they could do that. But again, the way the reconciliation package is scored, that would drive up the price. And I am a deficit hawk, a debt hawk. I don't want that package to get, it needs to be under $1 trillion somehow. $1 trillion for all this would still be too much, but that's likely what it would take. So you RINOs are off the hook. You have no excuse. I know what your excuses are. I know your reason to not do it, but you could do it. You won't. But that doesn't change the fact it's the Democrats that have the government shut down, voting as a bloc in lockstep against funding HSA, TSA, FEMA, and other sub-agencies, while ICE, that they claim it's about and demanding reforms, is already funded till 2028. Stop the lies, stop the BS, and that goes for you RINOs too. Stop the excuses, pass a reconciliation package with some rescissions in it to offset the cost of the reconciliation package. Okay, I covered all my notes. I hope I remembered to get everything in my notes. So, signing off for this March 2026 video special number 4. Probably will air Wednesday or Thursday, the 26th. I'm not sure, maybe Friday. I do have another one I'm going to record. Anyway, thank you all. Take care. God bless. Love you all. That's the facts, Jack. The good, the bad, the ugly. I deal in reality here. No BS zone. I call out the left and I called out the RINOs. I'm consistent. Take care. God bless. Love you all.
Woke up at 4 a.m., coffee still hot. Rushed to the airport, thought I beat the clock. Line snakes round the corner, folks looking beat. TSA shuffle, same old defeat. Agents yawning, badge hanging low. No paycheck coming, motivation slow. Shutdown shuffle, doing the TSA blues, standing still forever, paying my dues. Shoes off, belt off, laptop in the bin. 30 days no pay, where do we begin? Summer's dancing, Congress playing games, while we're missing flights, feeling the pain. Shutdown shuffle, yeah, that's a tune. TSA blues under the fluorescent moon. Thousands standing round, that's the motto now. Absence is double and 300 walked out somehow. Spring break families, bags packed tight. Owls in line, losing the fight. Ma'am, random check, sir, step aside. No smile, no sorry, just bureaucratic pride. Shutdown shuffle, doing the TSA blues. Pat down parade, got nothing to lose. Liquid limits, no shoes, no fun. Politicians arguing while the line ain't done. Airline CEOs begging, pay them quick. But Senate stall, making us sick. They call us essential, but treat us like trash. Work without wages, feeling the crash. One more vote, one more delay. Another flight canceled, another day. When will it end? Nobody knows. Just keep shuffling in these terminals. Finally at the gate, plane's already gone. Rebook tomorrow, singing this song. Shutdown shuffle, TSA blues. Next time I'll drive, got better views. Yeah, next time I'll drive. No more TSA blues.
Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help. Thank you for having tuned into another Constitutionalist Podcast show. I really appreciate that you stopped by. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We need you to help spread the Constitutionalist movement. Thank you again. Take care. God bless. Love you all.